Are we addressing the issue of bullying?
We have the program down there. You know, you saw the newsletter. That, I mean, it's constantly being talked about and addressed.
Students in that one elementary newsletter too. Well, you might have been gone then.
When do you make your report of bullying incidents to the board president?
Well, I'm assuming that'll be at the end of the year. I saw something, an article not too long ago about that, where one particular district had like one the whole year last year or something.
Is that something new?
But,
Is it?
but how much of it is going on that we don't know about? Are the students willing to talk to the guidance counselors, or to talk to Mr. Haynes or Mr. Hemsley, Mr. Kite?
I don't know.
Do they feel comfortable in going to those people or one of their teachers?
I know that I've been in this particular building and kids are lined up to talk to the counselors in here, but I can't speak as to the other. Of course, we don't have elementary counselors.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really becomes, I mean, I'm sure it's there at the elementary, but
it's there.
But as they're getting older, it becomes more prevalent, and it's probably at its worst at junior high and 9th grade, in that age range, I think.
How far down do you see it, Logan? Or to kindergarten? All the way through, really. All the way through.
The name calling and the punching.
There's a lot of class association. You know, a child may not be able to have the latest clothes or whatever, and they're sorted out for those issues, or they may be not as strong or not as athletic as some of the other kids. They're picked out for those issues, and once a wound has been exposed, they just continue.
Keeps infecting.
And it makes it for those children, it makes it very difficult for them to, makes it in some cases impossible for them to fulfill their academic promise. They're so caught up in another issue. And you know, the second step, I see some of our middle school teachers here. I think it's having a positive impact. I would encourage all the staff down there to continue to charge, because I know it's additional work for no additional pay, but I think that the rewards, as you guys get a hit with that a lot, and there's a lot of different things, but the rewards for it will pay off all the way through. Tonight, Zach's homework was, I guess we were addressing cell phones, and you know, a big thing is the kids texting mean things about one another back and forth, and Zach had to interview me about my thought about cell phones, which is, quite frankly, they shouldn't be in school, period. And then one of the other questions was, you know, what was my experience with kids and cell phone, and I wasn't very good, because my son doesn't have one, I probably won't. And then the next thing, you know, it went through these different issues of, so that the kids can see how, from the parent side, what the challenges are with them. And
my students did that homework last night, and it was amazing. 16 students. All the reports, I had 12 that brought back their homework today. All of them, the parents had answered almost exactly the same. We don't think a middle school child needs to have a cell phone. If they do, only for emergency, it should be turned off. And then I said, now you see that you're not the only child at home who has a parent that says,
right,
you don't need a cell phone. So,
right,
you know, it really brings out a lot that they don't even realize, and they can have someone else's point of view. So it was really interesting. Opening your eyes to other situations.
I think that program has legs, and I think if we continue to expand upon it, it'll help, you know, a lot of kids.
See, back in our day, we just had to worry about at home that night, who got to use the phone?
Yeah.
And for how long?
Justify.
And actually, Brenda and I heard a speaker at OSBA conference, and one of the things she said was, don't let your team take their cell phone to bed, because that's when a lot of the bullying takes place. They'll take their cell phone to bed and text, and they'll get very nasty messages. And that was really awful. But, you know, I think when you look in context of our culture, I mean, for me, 2009 has not been a very good year. I think the message in Jackson County right now is crime pays. And if crime pays, how do you teach, you know, kids not to bully and perpetuate violence upon each other, emotional or otherwise? And I'm just very sad about the situation with our retired Jackson City Schools educator, Carol Evans, and the plea bargain that was entered. I just think this sends the wrong message to our community, but especially to the young people in our schools who are watching us and see how we react in this situation. I hope the court will make the punishment fit the crime.
Any other comments?